Funding for this program provided in part by the Sanibel Captiva Chamber of Commerce and by Captiva Cruises.
Hello everyone, I'm Bob Fagan and welcome to Painting on Location. Now, you know, I've been pushing the crew pretty hard the last couple of weeks to get this series done, and they kind of wanted the day off today, but I wanted to paint. Looks like they won. But we might be able to get a painting done if I can get somebody to give me some paper. Can somebody hand me some paper? Hello, guys? Hello? Mama? Wow, what a pretty spot, huh? We had a heck of a time setting up here where the crew's standing on rocks, and I'm kind of standing halfway in the water. The water comes in and crashes against the easel. But we got a mighty pretty scene over there. We've got the bridge that goes between the two islands. I've got some rocks, I got people walking around, I got ocean water, birds, everything. Everything you need is right here. Now what I'm gonna do now is I have dried paint in here from the last time I did a painting. I'm gonna kind of get that wet. Get my spray bottle out here. Paint's nice and wet. Because I'm gonna be using that color on those rocks. I'm gonna add some other stuff to that. That's good stuff in there. It's kind of a palette gray color. Throw a little bit more burnt sienna in that. Lots of paint. Now, some of the rocks, as they get back away from the water, they're a little bit lighter color. The water kind of makes them darker color. All right, I'm gonna start right here. Start painting those rocks. Just some shapes for right now. I'm gonna be going back into this area several times. Some yellow, some blue in there. It really doesn't matter, just a lot of different color, kind of blend it together. All down in here. Put a little bit of red in that. A little bit of yellow. Kind of a first wash here. A little bit more blue. All the way down here. Some brown in that. See, that's not that hard. Just throw paint at it. Blue, a little brown. All right. Now, as that dries, I can go back in there and pick out individual rocks. All right, what I want to do now is I'm going to kind of paint the local color of that bridge. Now, it's very light. It's a very light value over there. Looks like kind of a gray. That's blue and brown together. I'm going to kind of paint this underside of this bridge here. I can get some paint on there. There we go. And that comes all the way back here. Throw a little bit of yellow in that. Now what I'm going to do is paint these distant trees behind the bridge, and that'll help make that bridge show up. Start off with some blue. I kind of like to mix up my greens rather than just getting green. I like to mix blue and yellow together. Have a little bit more control over it that way. Those trees are quite dark over there. I'll make some shapes like that. Paint around that little telephone pole there. I'll leave a little white space for that. Blue. Right back in here. Paint down close to my bridge. I'll also be going back into this area again later. Make a fairly straight line in there. All right. I think what I want to do right now is I'm going to let all this dry so I can come back in here and start putting more detail in it. So I'll be back in a few minutes. All right, I'm back and this thing's pretty well dry. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and put the sky in. Reach in here and get some of this phthalo blue. There's not any clouds in the sky at all, so I'm just going to make a big wash across the top of this thing. Pretty blue color. Start right up here. Right up at the top like this. Make a big sweep across there. Reach in and get some water. Just start bringing that down. Kind of gets lighter as it gets towards the horizon. Paint around my bridge, right over those trees in the background. That's why I use a big brush. You don't have to go in there and pick at it so much. Now I think I'm going to get underneath that, start putting some shadows under this bridge over here. Here again, I'm just going to get into some dark gray color, just some blue and some brown. Right back in here, get a little bit darker than that. There, here. Now I'm going to go back in there after this dries again and put a little bit more detail. Right now I just want to paint big shapes back in there. I want to paint fairly dark behind this, behind these rocks over here because they're basically lighter than that background. So I'll cut into some of those. Make it a little bit more interesting back in there. Then back over here. Just about right in there. Kind of cut into that rock. Make some interesting shapes back there. All right, I'll come back in that area later. Right now what I want to do is paint that water. That's what I've been waiting on. All right, I'm going to use some of this phthalo blue. A little bit of phthalo green. I'm going to make this the first wash. Well, that starts right about in here. And then that comes down this way. Paint around my little sandbar there. I'll throw some water in it. Now I can go ahead and leave some white in here for later. I'm going to throw a little bit of yellow in that. All right. I'm going to let all this dry right now, and I'm going to come back in a few minutes and start making more detail in these rocks. So I'll be right back. All right, everything's nice and dry. Now I wanted to stress to you, you have to let your painting dry once in a while. You have to step back away from it and let everything dry. If you keep painting on it, you start getting mud after a while. So force yourself to stop at a certain place, step back, see what it looks like, and then go back into it after it's dry. Okay, so I'm gonna get into these rocks. This is the fun part here. I'll get some brown. That looks like that Oklahoma clay right there. And some French blue. Now let's make a few of these puppies really dark. There's some dark ones that are close to the water over here. So I'll start chiseling away at those. Now you paint one rock, and you're actually painting two rocks at the same time. You see, you kind of cut into one there. You paint around one rock, and you're painting another rock. Okay, then there's a dark one right here. Comes down here and hits another one. See, you made a rock here by painting this one darker. A little bit of dry brush. Another one back there. It doesn't have to look exactly like what's over there. Just start putting your brush down, and it starts making sense after a while. You have to kind of like think rocks. We can get some burnt sienna. That right there. Real rough. Do some splatter on there too. Like I say, I usually do that when I can't think of anything else to do. I throw a little bit of splatter on there. Keep chipping away at them. After a while, they start popping out. Reach in there with your fingernail, make some scrape marks. That's why my fingernails are always dirty. Dirty looking. Looks like I've been working on a car. All right, now I'm going to get back up into the trees in the background there so that I can paint that little railing that goes across the bridge. Mix up some green. And come up here and kind of paint around those things. Start them about right here. It doesn't have to be exactly like that over there. I just kind of want to show that symbol that there's a pipe. All right. Now see a palm tree over there that I want to put in. Right up to my telephone pole again. Same over here. Just a few darker areas back in there. All right. And I think I'll put a little shadowed side to that one tree. Make that just a little bit darker on this one side. All right, I'm going to go ahead and put some people over there on that bridge. Now those basically are just silhouetted against the background. Mix up some burnt sienna. Mix it with some of this blue I've got over here. I can show the symbol for people. Put their head on like that. And the body. One here. Just kind of basically show shapes in there. Take them behind that little pipe. A few more over here. And then their fishing poles. They're kind of fishing down, so their poles are coming down that way. There's a good spot to fish over there where that water comes right underneath that bridge. All right. What I want to do now is I want to put that telephone pole in. I like telephone poles. They're cool looking. Oh, let's mix up some blue and brown again. Something kind of like that. start right up here. Check my hands, make sure I don't have any paint on them. And just kind of come straight down. Reach in and get a little bit of brown, just for some variation. Kind of spread all that out. Right straight on down. And then there's a bunch of stuff at the top. Just a bunch of shapes. In fact, I think I'll put two cross members there. I like two instead of one. It's a little bit more interesting. All right. I'm going to mix up some of the same water, the color of the water there that I had a while ago. Okay, let's see if I can make some spray here. What I'm going to do is paint back into the water like this. And then kind of make some spray areas, is the only way I can say it. Kind of paint around it. It's almost like painting clouds. Then take that same color and come back out here in the water and make some wavy stuff. Sometimes you just kind of have to hope for the best, you know? You don't always get exactly what you want, but I sure have a lot of fun doing it. I don't take the painting so serious anymore as I used to. Now, there's a few calm places back over there where I'm picking up reflections from the trees in the background, so I'll try to put some of that in. Just pick a spot here. Right in here. Just a few areas there. It's kind of where the water is fairly calm. A little bit over here. All right, I'm gonna see if I can put a person back there now. I'll reach in and get some of this person red. I can get a scale. There's somebody standing right there right now. They don't have anything red on, but they do now. Put a little bit of that same color back over here so I won't just have that in one spot. And come out and put a couple of legs. And then the head. Sure is a strange looking person. Have her holding something there. Have her waving, that's what I'll do. There you go. She's waving at me. She wants me to come over there. I'll put another person over here. There's her husband right there. Okay. And he's holding on to the little kid. Kid's trying to get in the water. Just some shapes. Maybe a couple more back here. I was trying to see if I could make one of them bend over and do that Sanibel stoop. See if I can do that. There. Legs. Arm coming down, and then the head. That looks too much like a dog. That looks like a dog. You gotta make fun of yourself, you know? All right. I'll put a couple of shadows there now. Gotta have shadows. If I can make a little bit more crashy water here. All right. Got to have some wires. So I'll put the telephone wires on. You don't have to, they don't really show up that well, so I'll just make a couple of streaks across here like that. Have them come this way. Maybe end up over here someplace. Now back where I come from, the birds land on the telephone wire, so I'm going to do that here. There's some flying around. Got to have a few birds. And a few over here, looking for a free meal. All right. Well, I tell you, if you can stick a fork in me, I'm done. Sure is a pretty spot here. We're having a great time. The crew and I are just acting silly and kidding each other, and they make fun of me, I make fun of them, and we've had a great time coming down here, setting up, finding places to paint. So I'm on to the next spot. I have no idea where it's going to be. So until I see you there, I'm Bob Fagan, and we've been painting on location.
This program is available on video for just $17.95 or $179.95 for the whole 13-part Sanibel Captiva series. Also, Bob has produced 3 one-hour instructional videos on the art of watercolor painting. Each one is available for $19.95 or $36.95 for your choice of 2, or all 3 for $54.95. Call 1-800-353-2232 to order.
Oh, you think this is funny?
Yeah.
Well, I got everything but my feet. Oh, man. Ah.